I want to show you how you can double your one-person business revenue in just 30 days authentically. And it's such a simple strategy and such a simple shift that it's so easily overlooked. I know what it's like to overcomplicate the way that I think business needs to be and try 1,000 different things. But really, when you really grasp this concept, it'll just absolutely align you to what feels more authentic in your business and actually what drives results while spending less time on the things that don't really matter that much. So just a disclaimer, this is not some, bro, you can make $44,000 next month type of strategy. It's more nuanced and subtle, and I love catchy titles and all that, but I just want to give you the raw reality of what it's been like for me, learning how to really align my business to what I truly value, what's authentic, and how I can actually get better results from doing so. So let's just dive straight in. I think, because I know I've been there, that the number one sort of mistake that creatives and one-person businesses make is we spend so much time on the wrong things. If any of this sounds familiar to you, you know what I'm saying. We spend so much time making the perfect website, trying to write the perfect post, worrying about what color to make the background of an image, especially if you're into design and creativity. We spend so much time on the things that don't really drive the needles. Now, I'm a sucker for excellence. I love good design. I love when things are thoughtful and everything's really portrayed in a way that feels like it's coming from your heart and soul. But there's a difference between spending days sort of on the tasks that don't really matter, kind of tweaking a landing page, maybe writing 27 different phrases that you want to use on that landing page, or thinking about your brand colors. Those are all great. I think it's super important. But there's really one thing that you're doing that is metaphorically like you're going to the well and you're coming back up with water. That is what you need in your business. Let's face it, you need to make money, you need to get results, but you want to do it in a way that feels really good. What I see is, I've done this so many times where I've gone down to the well, I've tried something, I've made an experiment, and it comes up successful. I get a client, I make some money, I'm like, wow, that was great. I'm gonna keep doing all this other stuff instead of saying, maybe there's something there. I'm going to absolutely double down on what was working. For me, I had so much resistance to wanting to actually market myself online. I was so like, no, I wanna be all in person, word of mouth, and I was struggling to get work. I was struggling to get clients. And then it wasn't until I started using something like Nextdoor, which took me, 6 months to, break through my resistance, where literally the first time I posted, a client came in. I'm like, whatever. I'm gonna keep doing all this other stuff. I'm gonna keep, changing my website. I'm gonna redesign that phrase. I'm gonna make a catchphrase over here. Ooh, I'm gonna make a new offering, and I wanna make a way that people can pay me. All of that is great, right? But it wasn't the thing, which was post on Nextdoor authentically, sign people up to a waitlist or a form, and take calls, right? I wasn't doing that. I was so focused on all these other things. And months, years went by that could have been spent just double, tripling down on the thing that worked. But instead I had this idea of how I think it should be. So this is a huge distinction. There needs to be a point in your one-person business where you let go of how you think it should be, how you think it should look, and you surrender to what life is trying to do through you. You surrender to what's working. You surrender to something greater moving through you if your work is genuinely like a heart-forward offering to the world. It doesn't matter what it is, whether it's metal fabrication, guitar lessons, or baking cupcakes. I like to think of service as an extension of your heart, right? And there's a point where you gotta let go of how you think it's all gonna work out, because I don't know the answers. I don't know what's gonna happen tomorrow, if someone's gonna call me about a project, or if I'm gonna get in a car accident, or if that crazy guy's gonna punch me in the face. I don't know. Now, I'll do my best to make the things that I want to happen, but I gotta take the cues and the feedback. And so this is the mistake, especially if you're creative. We're trying to be so creative all the time that we don't take the cues of the things that are working. Perfect case in point, There might be a landing page that is ugly as heck or not designed at all, that's just straight to the point. Here's how I can help you book a call. And that might get way more calls booked than this beautifully designed landing page that was written with so much thoughtfulness, and it's so flowery and long and it's beautiful and it's this whole journey. That's amazing. Do that. But if it's not getting you the results, if it's not getting you calls, if it's not getting you form submissions, if it's not getting people on a wait list, if it's not getting you money in the door, it's time to let go of that a little bit and see how you can tweak the messaging. And often, it's just a little change, or it's remembering, hey, when I did this thing, it drove results, so I'm gonna double down on that. So when I started to just sort of let go of all the fluff and completely minimize the way I was doing business, no more long landing pages, no more beating around the bush, having conversations, not really confidently saying what I want to do or what my price is. I just now write a post or have a conversation and shake someone's hand in person and say, I would love to do that for you. My prices start at $5,000 or whatever it is. Or online, it's a post with a call to action to a form that says, I design handsome handrails. Here's how you can get one. You gotta join the wait list. Here's a form. That's it. And when I cut out all the fluff, oh my gosh, my business doubled, I actually focused on the things that were driving results. So I want this to sort of be a living permission slip for you to take a big exhale, to let go of how you think it's all gonna work out, because you don't have any control, right? You can create your best conscious response possible in this moment to the circumstances that you're facing, but at some point, you have to let go. And if you're anything like me, all of the greatest gifts come in ways that I'm not expecting, come in ways that I couldn't have controlled. So I want to surrender to them and welcome more of that. I want to create a pipeline that welcomes something that I'm not thinking about. I'm going to take the cues from what's working and I'm going to be like, you know what? Maybe that's not how I would have done it. Maybe that's not how my ideal version of marketing looks like, but it feels authentic and people resonate with it. So let's double down on that. So that's abstract, big picture. How this can really relate is just take an inventory of the last 30 days, what has worked, what hasn't worked. I posted on Instagram 37 times and that I don't use Instagram, and that didn't book any calls. But you know what? When I go to that coffee shop, I feel magnetic. I'm talking to people. People are saying, hey, you need to talk to this person. He's got some really cool stuff he's working on. You should collaborate, or whatever it is, right? I'm being somewhat hyperbolic, but I want to reinforce the point, you can stop doing the shit that doesn't matter. If it brings you joy and it's a hobby, great, keep doing it. But if it's not making you money, it's not a business, it's a hobby, right? So keep expressing yourself, have a long-term play, if that's something like YouTube, if that's something like building an audience somewhere, great. But really focus on what's moving the needle now, because that's going to help you feel more confident, that's going to help you have more resources to feel more empowered, and ultimately, that's gonna get all the work underneath your belt that's gonna help you become a better version of you, a more sort of, straight-spined, embodied, creative, this embodied vessel for life to move through you and impact the world, right? Because I'm all about impact. If you're here just to make money, cool, but I'm also here to really create an impact on my community through creativity and all of the beautiful things that come from just really expressing myself heart forward. So I hope that this helped, just as an encouragement to just, cut out the noise and actually focus on what works, even if it's different than how you expected it. Even if it doesn't look like your perfect vision of my super trendy, in vogue marketing, whatever it is. Be authentic, and if it resonates with people, double down on it. If it gets clients in the door, double down on it. If it doesn't, you can keep doing it if you want, but see how you can approach it differently to experiment for signals and results versus just to feel good about the fact that I did it. But it's when you get results, you can feel good and you have data. You have data to work with, to bounce off of. That's just gonna ultimately help you in the journey of scaling and running or starting your one-person business. So I hope this is helpful. Bit abstract, but take it as it is. This is who I am. So thanks for joining me here, If you're interested, leave a comment. Drop a comment about what you would like to see in future videos, and I'd love to help you all out and make some videos on that. But if you haven't subscribed yet, please do so you can stay up to date, and I'm looking forward to seeing you in the next one. Ciao!